Well, folks, I'd just like to thank everyone out there who has downloaded my song, Cheaper Eggs. It's available for download over on the Bandcamp app. I'll put the link in the description of this video, and if you would like to download it over there, you can. It's also available on iTunes and Spotify. It's starting to hit all the musical apps. So wherever you consume music, you should be able to find it now. But people ask me all the time which app out there allows the artist to profit the most, and I would say Bandcamp. So that's the one that I go to download songs, and it gives you the option to pay the artist a little bit more if you want to. So it's a really good app to help us out. They also have Bandcamp Fridays, which I believe is the first or second Friday of every month, where the artist gets 100% profit. So it's a great app to consume music on. But like I said, you can find it. You can find my song pretty much now on any of the music apps. It's continuing to hit them as we speak. I really appreciate you guys for sharing that song and helping it go viral. But got to be honest with you, that's one of those songs that I wish I'd never had to write. I really wish right now we were just sitting back watching Kamala Harris pick her cabinet, and I wish that I was just writing funny songs trolling MAGA for how ridiculous and over the top they are. But here we are, and I wrote the song Cheaper Eggs because I sat back and watched people in my part of the world get duped into believing that if they got Trump back, somehow magically their grocery bill would disappear, it would shrink. And in my song, I said they sold out their daughters and they threw away their friends. And I've seen quite a few people in the comment section take exception to that line and say, we didn't sell out our daughters. We were just trying to protect our daughters. There's all these criminals coming across the border, and we had to protect them from them. And these same people that say that are the same people who are sitting back demanding that a woman carry her rapist baby to term. So how can they say that they're about protecting women? And why do they use young girls like Laken Riley to politicize their argument? They will say that Laken Riley begged for her life and they're trying to protect girls like her. But had Laken Riley became pregnant, they would have been demanding that she carry the baby to term. And I have said here on the channel so many times, and I've pointed out all of the women who have been raped since Roe versus Wade was overturned, and all the women that were in states where there was no exception, even for rape. And I didn't hear a peep out of any of these people that talked about protecting their daughters. I didn't hear not one single peep out of any of them when it comes to that. But they will sit back and say, no, we didn't sell out our daughters, we're just trying to protect them. And they let Donald Trump stand up there and say, I will be their protector, I will protect them. And they turned over the reins to that guy, a guy found liable of sexual abuse. That's the guy that they're okay. A guy that bragged about groping women. That's the dude that they want to let protect their daughters. And that dude, his first presidency led to Roe versus Wade being overturned. We saw the Supreme Court get stacked. We'll probably see it get stacked even further. These rights aren't going to come back anytime soon. I'm not trying to bring down the room. I'm just trying to be realistic here. These rights for women are not going to come back anytime soon. And they're sitting back saying, well, we didn't sell out our daughters. We were just trying to protect them. No, you absolutely sold them out to Donald Trump. I said in my song it was for cheaper eggs, but let's be realistic. It was for Donald Trump, because I really believe had something happened that Donald Trump wasn't able to run, and let's say they had just put another Republican up there in his place, I don't think that MAGA would be behind that as much. I think a lot of them would lose interest, because I think they're totally caught up in this reality show that we're now all on. And that's what politics is now, folks. It's absolute theater, whether we like it or not. It shouldn't be. It shouldn't be another form of entertainment, but unfortunately, that's what it's become. We're not arguing about the issues at hand anymore. We're not arguing about politics, I should say. That's what I meant to say. We're not arguing about politics anymore. We're not arguing about any of those things. We're arguing about how this guy is unfit and how this guy's getting away with everything. And we're watching people who is so caught up in his story that they will give him a pass for everything. He can do anything he wants to do. He can strip away rights from their daughter and they'll find a way to twist it. But anytime they try to find a way to twist it, we're always going to be there to show them the hypocrisy of what they're saying. You can't say that you did it to protect women when you're the same people who would force a woman to carry a baby to term. You can't say you're there to protect women when you would allow someone else to make the decisions for her. And you can't use the argument of, oh, they just kicked it back to the states. They love to say that. They think it makes them sound intelligent, but it actually shows just how stupid they truly are, because state government is still government. It's still someone interfering in your daughter or your wife's rights. It's still someone getting in their doctor's office and interfering with the whole thing. And if you want to say, well, it's the people of the state that votes for these things, if you want to make that argument, if you want to say, well, it's the people that, then it's still someone else getting to decide for your daughter or for your wife or for women in general. That's what's happening. So any way you slice that argument, it falls flat. Because these are the same people that says the government should never have a say in their lives. These are the same people that says other people shouldn't get to dictate how they live their lives. I actually had a friend of mine that I used to argue politics with all the time say, well, democracy is just an idea. It's just something, I shouldn't have to live under democracy just because the majority of people votes for something, but yet thinks that women should have to live under their rule because people in the state votes for it. So either way you slice it, their arguments fall flat and they go nowhere. And like I said, we're no longer just debating politics now. To the people that says, well, we didn't throw away our friends. Yeah, you kind of did. You really did, because you voted for this guy over everyone else. And you proved that you did not care about anyone else but yourself. The level of selfishness and the level of greed that you showed is such a turnoff to so many people. That's why people are walking away. That's why that people aren't going to be showing up at Thanksgiving, because they don't want to sit there and listen to your bullshit. And they don't want to sit there and listen to you say, oh, well, it wasn't about politics, man. It was just the economy. It was just a grocery bill. We had to do something. We had to protect the women. No one wants to hear those arguments. We are so tired of hearing those arguments. Just admit it. You sold out for Donald Trump because he entertains you. He entertains these people to the point that they don't understand how the system works. And we can tell them all day how it works. It ain't going to matter. It's not like they're going to up and just, say, oh, wow, we didn't realize that's how it worked. They're not going to say that. They're going to continue to think that everything is rigged against them. Meanwhile, they're sitting back while they complain about the system being rigged against them. And while they complain about being censored on Facebook, they're the very people who are rigging the entire system against women, and who are censoring women, and who are letting other people decide for the women what to do with their individual bodies. And they were always the party of we're for pulling yourself up by your boots, and we're for individual liberties, and we're for individual freedoms, and we're for the government not treading on us. I pass by that sign every day. Well, you really can't fly that flag. Don't tread on me. If you're going to allow it to tread on the women too, the women you claim you love and the women you claim you're trying to protect. If you were truly trying to protect them, you would give them the right to make their own decisions. If you truly cared about them or loved them, you would want them to make their own decisions, and you would keep your mouth shut about it. Because that's what happens in my world. I don't tell women how they should live their lives. I don't try to control them. I don't think that my vote should cause the lady next door. I don't think my vote should control how she makes her medical decisions. That's ridiculous to think that. And I know that if the role was reversed and if a guy suddenly went in to get a vasectomy and he was told he wasn't allowed to, or if all of a sudden he was forced to, I mean, I don't know how many, I can't count the number of guys in this world that sits and bitches and moans about paying child support. I shouldn't have to pay that, man. I shouldn't have to do this. I shouldn't have to do this. And they'll sign away rights to their kid because they don't want to pay the child support. They'll literally sign the rights away and then sit back and say they're pro-life. You can't, there's no world in which you can make it make sense. But we see through it, and we're going to continue to call it out every day. And I will stick to that line in my song. They sold out their daughters and they threw away their friends on a senseless notion it would all be great again.